Things I don't like about the Apple Watch after 6 months of real life usage. Now, I'm not an extreme sports person, but I have been taking it on bike rides, I've been taking it on hikes, we've been using it every single day for work, I've been sleeping in this, showering in it, doing everyday things in this watch for 6 months now. And while I think it's an amazing product and I don't see myself going back to a normal Apple Watch, there are some things I do not like about it. Number one is that the action button can be pressed quite easily, and that is very annoying, especially if you're wearing the watch the wrong way around. I'll say the wrong way around, but I wear the digital crown on the left for a reason. The reason being, when I'm riding my road bike, which I do a lot of road cycling, when your wrists are sort of like that bent up, the digital crown can be pressed, obviously because of the way that the angle of your hand is. So I turn it around and that stops that pressing. But when you actually come to press the digital crown with two fingers like this, you are pressing against the other side of the watch and then you are activating the action button, which is quite easy to press. You don't need a lot of pressure, a lot of force to actually activate that action button, which I'm supposing is by design. But if you're holding your watch like this and you're pressing the digital crown, even if you're paying for something and we're double tapping like that to pay for something, you can press the action button by mistake, and that is just a little bit annoying on the odd occasion when that happens. That's the first thing I don't like about the Apple Watch Ultra. The second thing is, I think it's a bit of a software issue, but when you've got the PIN code in, which you have to have on for some reason when you've got your cards linked to your Apple Wallet on the watch. I know there's security reasons why it's on there, but I think you should have the choice to be able to turn that off. It's very, very annoying, especially if you go out the house without your phone. You can actually set your phone to unlock your watch when your phone's open, but if you go out the house without the watch, which I can do a lot more with this because of the battery life, then you have to put your PIN code in before you operate it or pay for anything, only when you've got the cards linked to your watch. But it's just a little bit annoying. I'm not sure why we can't have Touch ID on this action button, which is probably bigger than the iPad button, so we know they've got the technology to do it. So I'd like Touch ID on the action button next time round, and that could negate the need to have a PIN code on your watch. The PIN code sort of shows up a lot, and that's the issue I'm talking about. When you're just normal day-to-day driving or whatever, if you tilt your watch just slightly, the PIN code comes up expecting you to put it in because it thinks you want to use the watch, and that is very annoying. Just give us the option to get rid of the PIN code. Maybe they could add the feature where if it recognises it's off the wrist, then the PIN code is activated. But when it's on my wrist, nobody else is going to be using my card by chopping my arm off or dragging me to a cash point or somewhere to pay for something. If it's on my wrist, I shouldn't need a PIN code to operate my watch. It's very annoying. I wish Apple would change it. That's the second thing I don't like about the watch. Thirdly, the straps are just overpriced for what they are, and I've not been impressed with any of them. The one strap I'm using and I have on my watch for the last 3 or 4 weeks now is the Nomad rugged strap. It's very light, very comfortable, and half the price of the original Apple Watch Ultra straps that are available. We've got the Alpine Loop, which you can see from the overhead shot, hopefully has sort of worn away, the colour's worn away, and it does get very dirty. Same with the Trail Loop, and those two watches sort of absorb water if you're doing a lot of water sports. If you want the water sport strap, then you've got the Ocean Loop or the Ocean Band, which is just not very comfortable. I've found that it does dig into your wrist because it's got these ridges on there by design, but it's just not a very comfortable watch strap at all. The Nomad is the same material, that fluoroelastomer, that is good and durable and waterproof and very rugged, so it's made of the same material for half the price. So if you want to pick up one of these straps, I'll link it in the description. They have got other models and other colours available as well. So that's my third point. The straps just not very good and extremely overpriced. Now, fourth point is now, this is annoying me because the Garmin lovers out there said to me my first few videos about this watch that the battery life is a load better on the Garmin watches, and yes, of course it is. And I do wish the battery life was better. You quickly get used to having the battery life being extended for those 2 to 3 days. You still have to charge it after 2.5, 3 days, and you quickly get used to that battery life. It's just as simple as that. I do wish it would last a week or longer, and I think they should be able to do that in the coming generations or even the next generation for sure. So I'm with you. I am with those Garmin fanboys. I do think the battery life could be better. You quickly get used to having the extra battery life. While it is good for an Apple Watch compared to the other Apple Watches that you have to charge every day, you still get used to it very quickly, and I just wish it was a little bit better. My fifth point is a little bit of a nitpick. When you are exercising, cycling, or hikes and stuff like that, the exercise has paused on the odd occasion. I think it's because the screen is bigger and easier touched. It's got to be that. I don't see any other reason why that would happen. Now, it is user error. You can lock the screen within the exercise, whatever you're doing, and then they've changed it where you have to hold down the digital crown like you would do to get rid of the water out of the speakers after a swim, and that unlocks the watch. So you can do it. I forget to lock the watch when I go on a workout, and the few times I've gone on a bike ride recently, the watch has actually paused. Whether it's tapped on my glove or I've pressed the screen by mistake. Because this screen is bigger, I think the accidental touches are more likely, and it has paused my workout and hasn't recorded anything. It's paused it when I paused it and didn't track anything else. So yeah, just make sure that if you're going on a workout, whatever you're doing, make sure you lock the screen, and then you can obviously unlock it if you need to use it. So that's the other little nitpick that I've got about the Apple Watch Ultra after 6 months of use. So like I said, nitpicking, but I'm hoping that Apple will improve these things in the next generation of the Apple Watch Ultra. I still love the Apple Watch Ultra. I think it's an amazing device. I love the look of it. It's very rugged. I love the weight. It's so comfortable. The fact that it's bigger for me just suits the way I want a watch to look, and I really do love it. But I do think there are improvements to be made. So hopefully Apple will implement those improvements in the next generation. Okay, that's it for this one. Any questions about the Apple Watch Ultra, let me know in the comments down below. But until next time, I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.